and I'm saying her name wrong all morning. It's Dimeta, not Dimeta. I'm so country. It's Dimeta Smith and Mr. Steve Pelmore. Give it up for them, y'all. Here in the studio hanging out. How y'all doing?
Good.
Doing great.
Good morning.
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Thank you guys for coming in. So I'll start with you, Dimeta. Give us a little background on you and where you're from, and and your expertise with us being a CPA.
Awesome. I'm actually Dimeta Smith Knight. Didn't want to get another name wrong.
Oh man, I gotta put that Knight in there. I don't want no problems. I had that already.
Yeah. Shout out to my husband George Knight III.
Hey George, what's good up, man? Don't start nothing, man. Okay.
So I am from Nashville. A graduate of Whites Creek, Tennessee State, and Belmont. So
nice.
I made it all the way down the avenue. And I started an accounting firm about 8 years ago. So Dimeta Smith CPA actually morphed into Smith, Pelmore, and Dobbs this year.
Nice.
Bringing on some great partners, and we're certified public accountants, which you don't see very often, a group of minorities who are elevating the game here in Nashville. So we're excited about being able to offer a full service accounting services to all of our clients. So we work with businesses and individuals to really grow and expand.
Wow. So minority-owned CPA business right here in Music City.
That's it.
Absolutely. What about you, Mr. Pelmore? Can you give us a little background on yourself?
Sure. Good morning. My name is Steve Pelmore. I'm originally from Chicago. I'm also a TSU graduate.
Hey.
Earned a master's from University of Illinois, and spent a number of years in the military. After leaving the military, spent a little time with the IRS and took the CPA exam, and then shortly thereafter formed Smith, Pelmore, and Dobbs with
Nice.
Dimeta and our partner Angelita Dobbs.
So for you, so both of you guys went to TSU, and you're both CPAs. So what is a CPA? CPA probably has a whole lot of different realms that it covers. What do you guys cover?
So
The certified public accountant is a CPA, by the way. Make sure I get that together.
Thank you. That's half
Okay.
the battle. Most people don't really know what we do. Most people don't think they need one. But what that means is that we have passed a very rigorous exam from everything. Of course, people assume tax, but there's financial accounting, auditing, and also business concepts. We have to know everything about legal structure of business and accounting information systems, all the things that are necessary to be able to provide accurate financial statements. We also support individuals. A lot of them have desires to grow a business or even to grow a family. And so there are things that we learn through that process of the exam, studying for the exam, but also because we're required to stay abreast of all the rules and regulations each year that we know as, fortunately, as the experts.
Right.
So we're required to maintain continuing education every year in those areas that we practice in. So we're held to a higher standard.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fire off the first question. And guys, if you have a question for the experts today, you might as well come in here and get you some free tax advice. Tomorrow's going to cost you a little change. Tomorrow's going to cost you a little money. Get you some free tax advice today. Here's my first question before we go into the break. So why does it seem like more people are owing money this year? It seems like everybody that I know is like owing money. What's going on with that?
So part of the problem is the IRS issues these withholding schedules every year, okay? And what happens is employers upload this data along with the information that's on your W-4. They use this information to calculate your withholdings. So because of the new tax laws, things are shifting a little bit. So ultimately what is occurring is that many employers aren't withholding enough from their employees' checks. Ultimately, they are paying lower taxes, but during the year, as you get paid twice a month or once a month or whatever the frequency is, people just aren't having enough amount withheld from their pay. And so they should look at their pay stub pretty frequently, as well as look at last year's tax return to get an idea of what your total tax is. And that will help you plan a little bit better.
All right, guys, you better call up here and get this free tax information. 737-9292, 737-9292. Today, ask the expert.
I did not file the year before, and I actually I worked at Walmart, and I invested in some stock. When I did try to go online and file, it wouldn't let me actually file my taxes. And I'm trying to file this year, and I think I'm going to get a penalty. Can you advise me on what to do?
Sure. So you have multiple things going on. If you did not file for 2017 and you are due a refund, it's a good idea for you to go ahead and get that tax return in. There's a 3-year statute of limitation of when that return is actually due. When that 3 years expire, you may forfeit your refund. So you need to look into that. As far as the 2018, there could be various items that may preventing your tax return from being accepted. Because you purchase stocks, if you have not sold the stock yet, you don't have a taxable transaction yet. So the stock would not go on your tax return. It only goes on once you sell the stock, and it'll go on the Schedule D, and then you'll ultimately pay taxes on the capital gain, meaning hopefully you bought low and you sold high, and then you'll pay taxes on that capital gain. If you have a loss, then that loss will hopefully reduce some of your tax.
All right, guys.
If I filed taxes and I claimed my child on the taxes because she's a college student, but then she worked, does she file taxes, or do I use her tax information and include it with mine?
So, good question. So you have a number of things going on. For the daughter, it depends on how much she earned last year will dictate if you are able to claim her as a dependent. Under normal circumstances, I'm assuming that she probably did not earn that much. She will be able to file her own tax return. However, there's a box that needs to be checked that someone else, meaning you, can claim her as a dependent. If she has some withholding, she'll get that amount back. And then on your tax return, you'll put your daughter on as usual as a dependent. And because she's in school, she should receive a 1098-T regarding her payments to whatever school she's attending, and you may be eligible for some sort of education credit to help offset the cost.
All right, guys, we got CPAs in the building today. I'm trying to help you out with this tax. This whole thing is going. There's a whole lot of questions you got. You can ask the questions today for free, and because tomorrow gonna cost you a little money. All right, so I just want to try to help you out with that. Check this out, guys. They got a number too, 615-953-1167 for Smith, PELMORE, and DOBBS. 92Q, what's up? What's your question?
Yes, I have a tax question.
Go ahead.
When you file your taxes and they send you a letter back that says that you need to turn in documents like the 1095A and the 8962, what does that mean when you first file your taxes? Is that like an audit?
So, ma'am, no, that's not an audit. An audit is either when you go to a IRS office in person, or if they come to your place of business. They simply just want to verify the items that you've placed on your tax return. I would just make a copy of those documents, send them to the address, and assuming that your tax return is completed properly, that should clear up any questions that the IRS should have.
All right, thanks a lot for that question. 92Q.
Okay, here's my situation.
Uh-oh.
All right, my son's mother, she claimed him on her taxes, but I also claimed him. But I got court papers and documents stating that I can claim him on an even number of years. She claimed on odd.
Okay.
They rejected my taxes because she claimed them. I already sent in a letter and everything showing, and my paperwork showing that I can claim through the even numbers of years. So how do I rectify this situation? What else can I do?
Brother, I've lived through this one personally. So
You're getting free game on this one, bro.
So the court system and the IRS are not on the same sheet of music as it relates to this topic. The IRS, there's a form, I forget the form number off the top of my head, but there's a form that is, in my opinion, is slightly unfair to the fathers, or I forget the right word I'm looking for, but non-custodial parents. So there's a form that a non-custodial parent must have the custodial parent fill out and send in with their tax return.
Oh, they ain't gonna do that.
Be able to claim the child. Even if you have court records that say,
man, that's not cool.
You have odd years and even years and so forth, the IRS does not matter. If the IRS cannot make a clear determination, worst case scenario, they will deny the dependent for both parents.
Okay, that sounds fair, but You want me to go ask my ex-wife to give me some
Exactly.
money? Come on, son.
Exactly.
That's not gonna happen.
Exactly. It is not fair.
Okay, guys, keep calling 737-9292. We get a few more questions. We've been hanging out this morning with Steve Pelmore and Dimeta Smith of Smith, Pelmore, and Dobbs. They are TSU graduates. They have multiple degrees in advanced studies in accounting. They're CPAs, and they are here today to give you some free game. All right, I'm telling you, because tomorrow when you call them, it won't be free. So call up here now and get it. 737-9292, 737-9292. It is Wednesday. It's Ask the Expert.
I had a son that passed away, and his job sent me his W-2 form. How do I go about filing it?
Sorry about your loss, ma'am. For your son's tax return, you do have to file a 1040 for him. You file it just like any other normal circumstances. Just use the W-2, submit his tax return. If he has more withholdings than tax, there will be a refund associated with it. When you complete the tax return, you do have to include his death date on it, okay?
All right. Going back to the phone lines. 92Q, what's up?
I started a business out of vision I had about a couple of years ago. I want to say it was 2015.
Okay.
I woke up that morning, went down to the city. I got my business license from the city and county, and I have not got the business off the ground. This year, I got a letter from the tax assessor office of Rutherford County stating that I need to pay X amount of dollars in taxes because they assessed my business value what it should be. I'm just concerned. Is that something I need to pay? Because I thought legally I didn't have to file taxes or report income if it wasn't something that produced $3,000 to $5,000 already.
Unfortunately, many business owners make this mistake. You can actually file with the Secretary of State, get an EIN, go get a business tax license, and never generate income. Well, what happens is you actually start the date for the tax filing requirements. So you still should file the return for that period if the time hasn't passed for you to be able to either appeal that assessment. Most of the time, they just want you to file what's necessary to be able to pay the taxes. And so every other agency, whether it's franchise and excise tax returns or sales tax, they're expecting you to file those returns based on when you said you're starting your business on paper. So in many cases, it's just a zero return, but you are required to start filing those tax returns when you start your business.
All right. Hopefully that helped you out, girl. Better file them taxes. I got Smith, Pelmore, and Dobbs, CPA, in the building. See, Doug wants to ask a question before we wrap up, so we'll do that right after Case. Good morning. So I know Dub want to ask a question. He always want to talk about some money. What's your question, Dub?
My question is, as a small business owner, and I know I've made these mistakes like many others, I need some tips, man. I think I'm paying too much out. I need some extra deductions. They out here hurting.
They ain't here to teach you how to cheat, bruh.
Why not? Trump doing it. So
whatever.
How should you set up, all that information for a small business owner? And another thing, how can they do it to make it easier for an accountant so they can set it up and be right?
That's a great question. That's where your accounting and record keeping come into play. When you start your business, you really want to get an understanding of all of the business expenses that actually apply to your business. A lot of people think that you can write off anything, but really there has to be a specific business purpose. So based on what your business is, you want to make sure that you understand all of your costs. You understand all of your administrative things. You're going to have mileage. You're going to have maybe some meals, but ultimately you've got office supplies. You have rent. You want to make sure you're keeping track of those things. So we really want to help you set up a really good accounting system to keep up with all of that. You need a separate business account for all of your business transactions. So it makes it easier at the end of the year to identify what things are actually tax deductible. So your good accounting, basically will generate really good tax returns for you. So. All
right, guys, there you go. I got Steve Pelmore, Dimeta Smith with Smith, Pelmore, Dobbs, CPA. I'm going to give you guys a phone number in the website so you can get in touch with them and continue asking your questions there. Right here we go. Phone number 615-953-1167. 615-953-1167. And you can hit them up on the website. I'm going to do the letters, and then I'm going to do the military. Okay, SPD CPA. That's Sierra Papa Delta Charlie Papa Alpha. All right, for all you military people.
S.
S.
CPAs.
Oh, it's an S at the end of that.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's an S with the S on the end of CPAs is an S, all right? So make sure you get that together. And we're going to post this up on our website, up on our blogs. You'll be able to get the phone numbers and everything there. Thank you guys for stopping through. Mr. Pelmore, Miss Smith Knight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for
Thank you
being
for having
here.
us.
And, man, you guys got some free game today. Y'all don't owe me nothing. It's cool.
Can I give a quick shout out?
Go ahead, man.
I would. I'm going to give a shout out to my fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi, this weekend. We are celebrating our 74th Province Council meeting. Come out and hang out with us at the Music City Sheridan this weekend.
Oh, man. Yeah. Shout out to the Kappas. We appreciate you guys coming in.